My name is Christina Longs, and I'm a sophomore at Bainbridge High School, and this is my Laws of Life paper. People think that to be successful in life, you have to have persistence. The definition of persistence is the continuance of an event after its course is removed. I used to think that persistence was annoying and wish that people would just give up. Then I realized that the best thing for anyone to do is to not give up, but to keep going even when it's hard. Because it does not matter how hard you fall, it is about how many times you get back up. I was diagnosed with an extremely rare autoimmune disease called polymyositis at the age of 7. It is the inflammation of the muscles causing the inability to walk. This disease only occurs in 1 in 14,000 people and only appears in 30 to 50-year-olds. At the time, we had no idea what was going on or what was happening to me, but all we know is that it will eventually change everything. One night, I got up to use the bathroom, and when I tried to stand, I fell. I did not know what was going on, so I had to crawl to my mother's room, only to find that she was asleep. I tried to tell her that I could not walk, but since she was so tired, all she did was tell me to go to the dining room, get the Tylenol off the counter, and go back to bed. So that is precisely what I did. Next morning, I was awoken by her to go to school, but when she realized I could not walk, she started to panic. She then called my grandmother to take my brother to school, and she took me to my doctor about 40 minutes away from where we lived. When we arrived at the pediatric center, my mom had to carry me inside. We met with my usual doctor. She was a weird, skinny, blonde lady that always smelled like lavender. She was always so kind and very patient with me. I remember she asked me what was going on, and I had to tell her that I could not walk. She proceeded to ask me to hop off the table from where I was sitting and walk to the door. When I stood off the table and my feet hit the floor, so did my body. My mom then picked me up and placed me back onto the table. Even though I do not remember much of what the doctor was saying, I remember her telling my mom I needed to be taken to the emergency room immediately. I could tell that my mother was worried because she had the look on her face. My mom then took me to the nearest hospital where we waited on a room to be seen. It smelled like a nursing home. A nurse eventually came and took me to the room where me and my mom were waiting to be seen. I remember the walls of the room were bare. No paintings, no color, just a big window with a chair in front of it, and a television on the wall in front of my bed. I was only 7 at the time, so I do not remember much. I remember having my blood drawn and hating that. A nurse always came in the middle of the night to draw my blood. I felt like they were drawing the life out of me. I was so weak, I could barely do anything. I just felt so helpless and hopeless, and I just eventually stopped caring. One day, my brother came to visit me, and as he did, he handed me a lot of gifts from my classmates. There was one specific one that caught my eye, a drawing of a disfigured horse in a very big pasture with a little girl beside it. When I realized it was me, I knew that I wanted to ride it, and at that moment, I knew I wanted to walk. Confucius once said, "Our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall." One night, while everyone was asleep, I pulled my legs over the side of the bed. I grabbed my IV roller and pulled myself to my feet. I had fallen, and that scared me, but I did not let it stop me. I got up again, but the next thing I knew, I was on the floor. I don't remember how many times I had fallen, but the last time I just stood up, I was standing. The next day, I asked my mom to help me walk. It only took a while for me to get the hang of it, but I made my way to the doorway. My family would help me walk up and down the hallways of the hospital every day. I will eventually walk faster and faster, and I started walking and running faster and faster. The nurses called me a miracle. My mom once told me later on that as she was carrying me inside the hospital, a God gave her a vision of me walking out. That is exactly what I did. I do not remember what exactly happened to me, but all I know is that what happened to me was rare, and I had achieved something that I was told to be impossible. I am the walking miracle. Thank you to my mom and my friends for helping me proofread my paper. And thank you to my English teacher, Dr. Chambers, for teaching me how to write a paper correctly and for editing it. So, thank you.